Please welcome Director Tata, who is the CEO of Cyber Defense and a great pen tester. He will be leading us on that team. And Tata, hello.
Yes.
I will let you introduce yourself, and you have the floor.
Right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this opportunity again. It's always a great pleasure giving a workshop with the EyesOpen community. And it's all, how do I put this? I'm so excited to actually start what I'm about to start. So we want to make sure everyone can hear me. So if you can hear me, you write where you can hear me from. Maybe the country, the town, the city, whatever you're hearing me from. So that's what I just want to make sure everyone can hear me. So if you can hear me, just say, for instance, Kevin can say Kevin from Chang. I can hear you from Chang, par exemple. Bon, et aussi, je voulais aussi me rassurer que tout le monde qui est ici comprend au moins l'anglais, because I'll be speaking mostly in English. Unless there is someone that understands just French, then I will be all right. Selma can hear me from Limbe, that's a town in Cameroon. Okay. Setting a base. All right. Mohamed from Tunisia. Emanuela from Cameroon. Okay, that's already encouraging. I have some few people from Cameroon. Nathaniel is hearing me from Yaoundé. Caleb is hearing me from Yaoundé. Happy to see you all. All right. So, Achille from Benin. Breeze from Cameroon. I want to say Nathaniel is one of the biggest hands in when it comes to security audit I've ever known, and I'm so happy he's part of this meeting. Alpha is hearing me from Kenya. Wow. Breeze from Cameroon, Margaret from Kenya, Perez from Douala. This is awesome. This is great. And so during the presentation, Kevin is hearing me from Cameroon. I'll be putting in some subtitles. So while I'll be talking, those who understand just French, the subtitles is going to be in French, but I'll be speaking in English. You're welcome, Frank from Douala. I have Derek too from Douala. I mean, it's a great community out here. Jonathan from Yaoundé. I'm glad to have you guys here. Today, I'm not here to scare you guys, but some of you may be scared after I'm done with my presentation. So I will plead with you to stay to the end. Yongwa from Cameroon, thank you. Ceux qui sont là, je vais juste plaider avec vous d'être là jusqu'à la fin, because there are a lot of exciting things you have never known that you will see today. So thank you very much. So I'll just go straight to my slides. So because we do not have enough time, we don't have a lot of minutes. I'm glad you all are here and stick to the end. Okay, so all right, I guess you all can see my screen. And also, the presentation, the subtitle, ceux qui sont en train de lire, ce qui est en train de s'afficher en bas. The subtitle in French may have some little ups and downs because I may not articulate the way the AI is going to get it. So, but I will make sure I articulate my words very well, like I'm doing right now, so the AI picks out everything I'm saying. Yeah, I think it's actually interpreting what I'm saying. That's really good. So you guys are all welcome again to this workshop. And whenever I'll be going forward, make sure you write down the questions. If you have any, you just put them down because we have a question and answer session. All right, so let's do this. So my name is Tata Derek. Most people call me Crypto. Heading a team of cyber experts in cyber defense. I'm a pen tester. I'm a trainer. I'm a digital security trainer for Internews, which is an international organization. And I have a couple of certifications that I will not list them all here, or that could not be listed on the flyer. So I have a lot of security related certifications. Like most of my certifications are security related. So One of the certifications I have that's not too security related is Cisco CCNA, but the rest and I've been in this field for quite a number of years now. I'm still getting to that point. I've never gotten to the level of some big guys, some big hands. I still look up to a lot of people to actually learn from them. So today I'll be talking about something very peculiar. So most people keep saying this thing, my phone has nothing in it, even if I'm hacked, what will they get from my phone? I keep hearing that most of the time. I keep hearing that, I hear that, and it gets me on my nerves because people have no idea about what a phone carries or what a phone can do. So one of the things I'll be able to do is to be able to call someone on the call with another person's phone number. That's actually freaky. Or call my phone with your own number, you that's watching me. I can use your number to call my phone with it. And once that is done, you understand how vulnerable you can be. And you understand that where is trust, because most of the attacks we have now, 90% of attacks are being initiated by social engineering. How safe you think you are versus how vulnerable you really are. Most people do not know how vulnerable they are. They have no idea. Having a phone already is already a vulnerability. I just updated my OS today, my firmware, because there was a patch that was released. Most people do not update, they do not update their patches, and that's a loophole already, and that's how attackers can easily get into your system. So right now, I'll be diving straight into my workshop. So I'll mainly be talking about OSINT, that's open source intelligence. I'll be talking about OSINT, collect data, that's the fact that you collect data indirectly without knowing other information. So what you always do is, like, you know, these guys who recycle, at times they gather a lot of junk and they recycle, they take out what they need and they throw away what they do not need. So that's what we are going to be doing today. We just gather a lot of stuff, then we'll be able to pick out sensitive stuff from the garbage we gathered. You'll be shocked at what can be found on the internet. You'll be shocked at the kind of things you post on the internet. Most of you send your CVs online to some companies. Do you know people can get access to your CV online even without going through the company? And all of that, a lot of things. Some people buy online, but they have no idea their bank cards can be, all right, you are getting them. So actually it's raining outside. And so along the line, if I'm talking and you see drops of rain falling on me, just know it's the rain that's outside. But I got myself covered. I have an umbrella somewhere there. So if the rain starts, I think I'll just hold an umbrella. Moving on. So we are going to collect data about servers. You're going to collect data about location. You're going to collect data about operating systems and so on. So we are going to check the threat intelligence of your organization. How are organizations prepared for an attack? How do they assess their risk level? All of that. Most organizations do not even assess that. So equally, we are going to be doing some data gathering that could protect you and your company. I'm just going to be gathering some data, and equally skills you need of Google hacking database. So my parkour, the road I used before getting into cybersecurity, I started with Google hacking. I knew nothing about coding. I knew nothing about some sophisticated things I know today. With Google alone, I was able to have access to a lot of servers online, just with Google. I use the Google hacking database. I would just have to fine-tune my queries, then and so on and so on. So now we are going to be using Shodan tool. Shodan, the methods and the operations. How does Shodan work? Shodan is actually going to be our case study. I'm going to use Shodan. Shodan is like Google for hackers. That's where you find every connected device on the internet. You're going to have some OSINT using free tools, only some free tools that are online. So you can be able to gather information from a server without using paid tools, using just free tools, open source tools. That's why we are going to be using open source intelligence. Then you are going to crown it all with the demo. So now talking about OSINT, open source intelligence. Many people do not know what we're talking about. So I want to talk about the Internet of Things. I want to talk about the Internet of Things. Now, everything is going digital. Everything is going digital. Some people live alone, but they have about 4 devices connected to the internet in that house. They have their laptop that is connected to the internet. They have their tablet that's connected to the internet. They have their TV that is connected to the internet. They have their smart watches like this connected to the internet. They have a lot of things connected. Some even have 3 laptops. All of those are connected to the internet. And they live alone, like you live alone, but you have more than 5 to 6 devices in your house connected to the internet. Before you sleep at night, you shut your door, you shut the windows, you make sure everything is okay. You try to secure yourself. What about your equipment? What about your devices? We care less most of the time about the devices we hold, but those devices are the things that can drain us. These devices can make us die before our time. I know people have committed suicide because of a mobile phone. At times when your phone is not secured, some people do mobile banking with their phones. Once your phone is not secure, once you spend your whole time clicking on links because you want data, you want 300 gigabytes data, and so on and so on. Once you start clicking on those links and you use the same phone for mobile banking, you use the same phone to access your mails, you don't think about that, but you are ready to close your door and close your windows. You are not ready to close the doors and the windows of your phone. There are some things we need to start paying attention to, like special attention. Okay, moving on. So how safe you think you are versus how vulnerable you really are. So the disclaimer, if there is one thing you need to go back with today, is this disclaimer. If you're allowed to take a screenshot today, is this disclaimer. So any views or opinions presented in this presentation are solely mine and do not necessarily represent my employers. I hope that makes sense. I am not a lawyer or giving you legal advice. That's the first thing, or let me say the second thing, or the third thing. I am not giving you permission or authorizing you to do anything ever. In fact, don't do anything ever. Don't try to do what I'm doing. Remember, you can go to jail if you access a system without authorization. I know what I'm talking about. I know very well what I'm talking about. So if you access a system without authorization, you may go down for it. And like I said, I know what I'm talking about. So I don't advise you to do anything here. And the EyesOpen team asked me not to exploit systems. So maybe your expectations may not be what you think. I will not exploit any system, but I will show you how vulnerable the systems can be, because I will not exploit any system. That's how it's going to look like. Anyway, I pray I don't exploit any. At times, you know, that adrenaline is climbing. Before you notice, you're already into it. Okay, I hope that one was taken. So open source intelligence is intelligence collected from public available sources. Open refers to like ouvert, like open, publicly available sources, as opposed to covered sources. So there are some devices that you cannot have access directly from the internet. You may need a VPN to have access to some systems, but there are some that you just go online, you're right in. So it's not related to open source software or public intelligence. You need to understand this very well. So this information comes from a variety of sources, including a social media page. I could gather information from a social media page, or your company and staff. My cousin just posted a picture of him from his company. He took a picture with his badge. I could see his badge. I could see the barcode. I could see his name. I could see his code, his number, and everything. I was like, oh God, I keep preaching to this family. They don't hear. I mean, my own cousin. So that alone can actually jeopardize a company. So this can be a gold mine of information, all of these things. Revealing information such as the design of ID badges, layout of the building, and software used in the internal system. For me to know the layout of a building, some people take pictures in front of their companies, take pictures in front of their companies, in front of their houses, when they are taking their streets, they're taking the streets to their house, they always take a video, and you can easily identify where they find themselves from maybe the signpost and everything. And now some people take selfies in their offices. They take a selfie and you see the screen of what he's working on. All of these things, at times we do them unconsciously, but we need to understand that there are some things we should not do. We're talking here about open source intelligence. Moving on. So, fields and sectors where OSINT is mostly required: the government, financial institutions, telecom companies, critical infrastructure, cybersecurity advisory firms. Let me tell you one thing. Hackers like challenges and are very stubborn. Hackers are very stubborn. Even after reading my disclaimer, some will still try to get into what I'm asking them not to get into. Anyway, my disclaimer covers me. So cybersecurity advisory firms are always attacked by some other hackers to prove to them that they are not worth it, like their security is nothing. So if you want to get into cybersecurity, from your website right down to the last employee, make sure they are drilled in all kind of security practices, cybersecurity practices. So the cyber threat intelligence teams, there are law, cyber forensic teams, etc., etc. So the type of OSINTs we have two main types of OSINTs. From a security perspective, you can operate into offensive, that is gathering information before an attack. So whenever you are about to be attacked, or whenever an attacker wants to attack the system, he gathers information. So everything you post, from your status right down to where you work and everything, those informations are needed, like crazily needed. Then now we have the defensive OSINT, learning about attacks against a company. Against the company, that is learning about attacks against the company. So you defend the company. What you do is you go online, you gather information about the company, and you help them defend themselves with the kind of information they find online. Some companies do not know that information is found online. They don't know that information is found online. So most of the time you have to help them do that. So the OSINT gives opportunities to both the defender and the attacker. You can learn the weaknesses of a company and fix it, while at the same time the weaknesses could be exploited. So the information you gather from a company helps you either to fix or to destroy the company. Moving on. All right, so these are the OSINT processes. Okay. All right, thank you. I just wanted to make sure the things that are being written in the chat box, it's important. All right, so the OSINT process is you identify the source where you can find the information. Now, if I need information about, I don't want to use any Cameroonian company, I know my people. If I need information about AT&T, for instance, the first thing is I check the public facing IP addresses, the one that projects to the websites and everything. That's where I hit hard on these website builders. Please, when you build a website, it's not all about the design. It's not all about the beauty of the website, but the security layer of the website is very important. Building a website is not just about it being beautiful. You can drain a whole company from its website. You can take it right down. For instance, it's an e-commerce website, for instance. People buy them with their bank cards, and your site is not secured. Someone gets access to your database and gets every credit card or bank card from your website. And if it was a savings account, or if it was an account with much money, a family's money, a hacker can clear that. I know some people that are depressed today because they've been hacked. Some people have been hacked terribly. Hackers are like thieves, terrorists without guns. I'll not talk about different type of hackers today. I assume we all know them already. So now, after you identify the source, you do some harvesting. It's time to get relevant data from the identified sources. How do you harvest? You can harvest using the harvester. The harvester is a tool in Kali Linux. This harvester helps you get email addresses of workers in a particular company. We may have to do email attacks soon. Let me just take it down. I didn't write that. We may have to do email attacks soon, just to make you understand some little things. If we have time. So now, after you've identified the source, you've harvested, now you process the data, process the acquired data and get the meaningful information. So what you do after gathering everything you've gathered, you now select, like I said, you select what is important. After selecting what is important, you discard the rest. Now you analyze, join the data acquired from the multiple sources. You can get data from Instagram. You can get data from WhatsApp status. You can get data from Facebook. You can get data from LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a place where people post a lot of personal stuff. Oh, I just got my promotion from this. I know where you're already working. I know, and blah, 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 blah. So you send that data to attackers. You send the data to attackers without knowing. At times you know, at times you do not know. So we need to draw a line. We need to draw a line between our online life and our offline life. What you do offline must not always project what you do online. You go out in a restaurant to eat, you post it, you're going to church, you post, you introduce your whole family to the world, and so on. Then at the end of the day, you create a final report. The reporting now helps the company take you serious. Because you can't just come and stand in front of a company and say, I realize that people have vulnerability on this, my friend, you're going down for that. Never meet a company to tell them they have a vulnerability. Kevin is here, Kevin Monkam is here, and we have been doing a lot of things together. Even if we discover a company has a vulnerability, there is a way we do it. There is a very big company, international company, that's not a Cameroonian company, actually. We discovered they had a vulnerability. You could have access to the user table in their server. So we wrote to them and told them that this is what we've realized. Now, that was a bug bounty program. That's what we call bug bounty, where you are allowed to attack a system. But if it's not a bug bounty program, you can be sued for illegally accessing a company's IT infrastructure. You don't just do that. You don't just get into a system like that. So there is a procedure you follow. I hope I'm making sense. Moving on. I don't have a lot of slides, actually. I don't have a lot of slides. What's going on? Why is my slide not working? Which one is this? Give me a second, please. I hope I've not been hacked. All right. What information you look for whenever you come online? Because I kept saying that you gather information. Now, you are looking for IP addresses. You're looking for host names. You're looking for services. You're looking for networks. You're looking for softwares running on those networks. You are looking for hardware versions of the operating system information. You're looking for the geolocation. You're looking for the network diagrams. You're looking for all of these things that can help you gather a lot of information about the system. Now, when you come to databases, you're looking for documents. You're looking for papers. You're looking for presentations. You're looking for spreadsheets. You're looking for configuration files. Yes, there are configuration files that can be found online. Now, even misconfiguration, WordPress misconfiguration, for instance. WordPress misconfiguration can be found online. You can, those building websites with WordPress. I don't know why people see build website with WordPress. I don't really know why. But anyway, they have their reasons. But those building websites with WordPress, it's very easy for someone to have access to your site. It's very easy. So if you have to build a website with WordPress, make sure you add multiple layers of security. And those database administrators, there is what we call directory listing. Make sure it's not possible for us to get directory listing. I'm going to show you how we can have access to a lot of servers just from Google or from Shodan. You'll be able to see the directories found in a server, like an actual server. You'll be able to have access to routers. You'll be able to have access to telnet, index. You're going to be doing phishing, email phishing. We have a lot of things to do today. I don't know if you're going to go through, but wheresoever we stop, that's where we're going to stop. You're going to be checking vulnerable systems online just by using some simple command. So the third aspect is the metadata. Email and employee search, name and personal information. Have you ever Googled your name to find out what results comes whenever your name is Googled? So these are some things you need to understand, you need to find out and all of that. So always try that, email addresses and so on. So now for offensive OSINT end goals, the information above can lead to the following cyber attacks. The ones I listed before, the information, the slide before. So now there is social engineering. So once I'm able to gather information about your company, I can easily social engineer you. Automatically, I know the kind of things you like. For instance, I know who is even on this call. Okay, I don't want to reveal what people do for their living. So I know, for instance, you are into fashion. If you're into fashion, for instance, I send you a mail or a message. I'm like, hey, look at these shoes. They're great. And the price is unbelievable. I'll send you a link. You may want to check it because you're into fashion. It takes a lot of intelligence to know it's an attack or something. So some people say I don't click on links. Now we have what we call steganography. For those who are on the CTF that we had the other day, we had steganography. Steganography is the act of hiding something behind something. Let me use a lame language. So I can hide a link behind a picture. I can hide a message behind a song. I can send you an audio, but that audio has a link in it. So you cannot run away from them. I'm sorry to disappoint you. You cannot run away from them. Some will say, I will not click. Now, let me shock you. Let me shock you. If I send you a picture and I say, hey, who's on this call? Let me see. I say, hey, Collins. I say, hey, Collins. Regarde le gars, il te ressemble jusqu'à. Look at this guy. He looks exactly like you. Believe me or not, you're going to click on that. You want to see who looks like you. And now behind that picture, there is a link. So when you click on the picture, your phone is invaded and all of that, or your laptop and so on. So we can easily social engineer you from the information you post online. You're always at the beach, for instance, and you like barbecue. I send you a link that know those organizing barbecue around your vicinity. You click on it to check those who like those around barbecue. If you spend your time drinking beer, I can just write something about free beer tomorrow. You may be tempted to click on the free beer stuff. So now we have denial of service. Denial of service is one of the worst attacks that can ever exist. And most of the time we have denial of service in one of the countries I've visited. Not Cameroon, please. We do not have denial of service in Cameroon. Cameroon's internet is top notch. So we do not have denial of service here. So at times you go to the bank and they tell you, il n'y a pas la connexion, or there is no system. I was shocked one day to see that the bank had a denial of service. A bank not in my country. Like I said, not in my country. Not in the country I find myself right now. So they had a denial of service. A denial of service stops a genuine user from accessing a service that he's supposed to access. So you just stop someone from using, like you take somebody's key. I mean, like he's trying to enter his house, the key is not working, everything is blocked. when you're the one that blocks it. So now you have password brute force attack. Most of you here, your password is your last name and your date of birth, or your mother's name and your date of birth, your mother's date of birth and your dog's name and all of that. These things are easily guessable because you are too close to your dog. You must give that dog's name to one of your things. Maybe one of your users somewhere is Maxi. Maxi, that's your dog's name. So you are easily brute forced with regards to the kind of things, with regards to your environment. Now we have target infiltration. For instance, if I realize that this guy works in this company, when every day, I remember we did, before I get back to this, we had to do a pen test someday in a different town. And like, you keep hearing the name Kevin Monkam a lot because most of my work is with him. So we had to live in a building for 2 weeks so we understand the way people from the company behave, at what time they come to work. At times it goes up to 1 month, at times even 2 months. But you will never know what we are doing around that area. We can even take a hotel around that area. Every morning we sit down and we just check. Or maybe we can drive and park around the place. We just check the way people behave. This guy comes to work at this time. At break, he goes to this restaurant and he eats. So I can tailgate you or I can follow you. So when you go to that restaurant to eat, I sit there with you. And I just make as if I'm like, hey, please, can I sit here? Like, yeah, you don't know I've been following you up. What I need, I just want to take a picture of your badge. That's all I need. So once you come, so this day, this lady went to this restaurant. We followed her. So we got to the restaurant and we behaved as if every place was full. So we sat at the same table. She had her badge. The badge was hanging right there. So we discreetly took a picture from of the badge. We had the badge, info, everything. We went and printed a different badge. We printed 2 badges. So the day we were going to that company, we just showed those badges and they let us in. So we just went and we met the managing director of the company and we made him understand that we have breached security because our first level was to breach physical security. So we're able to breach physical security. So breaching the physical security wasn't easy. The badge alone was not enough. We realized that the badge has an RFID that you scan. So after taking a picture of the badge, we realized we needed to scan the badge too, or to check it. So now to do it was very easy. I will show you guys today how you can copy someone's card. No, am I supposed to show you that? Anyway, we copied the card. We copied the lady's card from the table. She didn't know we copied it. There are a lot of devices you can use to copy data from a card. So we just did that and we had access to the building. We breached the first security, the second, the third, the fourth, and they gave us our money and we left. We did that with authorization. We cannot do that without an authorization. So we did that and that was good. So the target infiltration, I was talking about target infiltration. You target someone and you infiltrate the person, you infiltrate the company through someone. User account takeover. Identity theft, you already know that. Data theft, you already know this. So let's keep moving. So like I said, you keep your questions for the end. All right. Free beer. Kajob likes beer, so that's why he's interested in free beer. Okay, we go on. I don't know why this thing keeps holding me back. My next slide. So if you have access to my computer, please just. All right. Oh, okay. I understand now. Hey, you already in the demos? Okay. So brace yourself. Demo is about to start. So I just want to make sure everyone is there. So if you can hear me, like I said, you just write your name in the chat box and tell me from where you're watching me from. I want to make sure everyone is following up. So we are going to be doing some crazy demos. We're going to be doing some crazy demos tonight. Before we continue, I want to acknowledge some few people. Kajob is here. Kajob is another smart guy into big data. He's very good. Okay, so I was asked to go slow. Percy is watching from Ndu. Ndu is a locality in a country, Cameroon. I don't know how he has internet from there, by the way. Randy is watching from Bamenda. So I heard I was fast. Was I too fast? Lionel is watching from Douala. Someone's asking me to behave like Kevin Midnick. So I just want this interactive, okay? Caleb, Yaoundé, thank you. Etiba is watching from the US. Watch out for this guy called Etiba. He's scaling mountains. Before you know, you're gonna see here, you'll be hearing a lot about that guy. You'll be hearing a lot about that guy. He's into cybersecurity too. We have big hands here. We have big guys. There's a lady that was here, Margaret from Kenya. Margaret is a very smart lady too, very smart in cybersecurity. I was so shocked the first time I exchanged with her. So guys, I'm preparing your minds for the Mr. Host. I'm checking my time. So I'll make sure I finish on time. I'm checking my time, Mr. Host. All right, so Yangwa from Yaoundé, Daryl Bill. Wow. Guys, I'm so excited to see you guys. So just want to take this opportunity to talk about the conference on Saturday. I don't know if the link is still open for those who want to register. I don't know, but the admin will probably tell us at the end if you can still register for the conference or you will follow that online. Okay. All right. So are you all ready? Are you all ready for the demo? I know that's what you've been waiting for. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so the demo, talking about the demos, the resources and the tools we may be using. I may not use all today. So attackers rely on these OSINT search engines to conduct passive reconnaissance. So in cybersecurity, we have what we call reconnaissance. There are some steps to hacking. One of them is known as reconnaissance. Reconnaissance is a kind of information gathering about an individual, a company, an institution, or whatsoever. So we study with reconnaissance. And with this reconnaissance, we have two types of reconnaissance. We have passive reconnaissance and we have active reconnaissance. With the passive reconnaissance, your presence may not be seen or your presence may not be felt while you are trying to gather information from reconnaissance. So we have some reconnaissance tools. We have, some people use Nmap at times, but Nmap, for those using Nmap, I want to talk to those using Nmap. Nmap is loud for those who do not know. For a sensitive or a system admin that is careful, or a network admin or cybersecurity, whosoever, that is very keen, he will understand that his device is being scanned. Nmap makes noise. So there's some passive scanning and there's active scanning. So now we can use Google to have that information about an individual. If you use Google to look for information about me, I will never know you're looking for my information. Showdown too. Showdown is passive. Census is passive. FOFA is passive. Dogpile is passive. Archive.org is passive too. So most of the time, people use this to gather information, or let me say most of the time I use this to gather information about an individual. So when I say Nmap is loud, so you guys just keep your questions for the end, please. If not, I may get mixed up. When I say Nmap is loud, when you are scanning a device using Nmap, the device you are scanning makes noise where you are scanning it. It simply means, when I say it makes noise, it simply means that if you check the files, the log files keenly, you as a system admin, or you as the person in charge of the information system, you will notice that this device was being scanned. And we have aggressive scans. There are some scans that are aggressive. When I say aggressive scan, very aggressive. So moving on. So these are some tools we can use. And for offensive resources and tools, we have email harvesting. I spoke about email harvesting here. Harvesting email address is an OSINT technique that gives attackers more information to conduct attacks, such as password surfing, password stuffing, and social engineering attacks. So if I have your email address, I can send you an email from a company and so on. I will not be taking those examples. I mean, there are classes for that. So today I just want to go straight to the point. So there's what we call the harvester. The harvester gathers emails. It gathers emails from a company. It gathers emails for the company. All right, thank you, admin. So you'll be able to join the conference remotely. He has given the link. You check that. So there is Prowl. Yes, you can equally gather emails using Prowl, and you can use Have I Been Pwned. This one, I just put it here, but I don't know the databases guys use. So you use this one to check if your email has been tampered with. So you check this website, you put your email address, don't put your password. You put your email address, then it's going to tell you if your email address has been tampered with. Okay, je continue. So, like I said, our case study today is going to be OSINT. Our case study today is going to be OSINT. It's going to be Shodan, sorry. So, OSINT intelligence, fields and sectors where OSINTs are mostly required. Okay, I spoke about this already. I added this. All right, so case study Shodan. So, the task I'm going to perform today is this, but not limited to this. So the day I was writing this is what came to my mind. So you're going to have remote access to servers, index file, directory listing. So you're going to be having access to some servers out of Cameroon, out of Central Africa, in fact, out of Africa. I don't want to do anything in Africa. I don't want to try anything in Africa. I'm not saying Africa is vulnerable, but I'm trying to say that every country is vulnerable. Every country is vulnerable. And most of the time, the systems in themselves are not bad, but those configuring the systems do not configure them well. We'll have a series of admin here today. So we have exploitation of vulnerable systems from Shodan. We'll not exploit, but I will show you vulnerable systems that are vulnerable. Maybe webcams. You may be sitting in your house with your laptop, someone else gets access to your webcam. I'll show you how that is vulnerable without you knowing how to code, without you knowing how to do a lot of things, but you'll be able to see. We are going to have access to some Android devices. We're going to have Android remote access. We're going to check vulnerable devices online. We're going to do some credit card reading and reading and write. We're going to be using VNC, and we equally use NFC. Actually, I want to put NFC here and VNC, so it's /NFC2. NFC is a near field connector, and I'm going to show you how that works. So now let's get into what am I going to start with? Okay. All right. I'll have to share my browser to show you guys how that works. I hope everyone is still there. Hope you are following up, and hope I'm not too fast again. Hope I'm not fast. If I'm fast, or if it's okay, just type in the chat box, say it's okay. It's okay for me. If I'm fast, just say you are fast so I can slow down a little again. So if it's okay, just say it's okay while I'm thinking of what I'm going to start with. Okay. All right. Sema says, okay, it's okay. All right. That's issues, my man. That's issues another guru too. Wow, I can't. There are a lot of, all right, thank you. Ashili says it's okay. So, all right, thank you, Mr. Nathaniel. So, I'm fine with your speed. All right. It's actually difficult talking because when I look, all right, my speed is okay. When I look at the people connected right now, I see my teacher there too. I see some people that I learned from. So it's a kind of test for me. but you will not be disappointed. Don't worry, you will not be disappointed. I know so far I'm making you proud. I know that already, so there's nothing to be added. All right, J Cuts, thank you. Oh, Achille is from a French-speaking country. He's from Benin. And I want to underline this. The guys from Benin, les Béninois, ces gars sont bons. The guys are good. I had an exchange with a few of them, man. I saw a level 2 student in a CTF where there were certified people. We ended the CTF on Sunday. He was, I think it was, no, I don't want to give his position. You may start going to check him out. He was in the top 5, but he's a level 2 student doing information technology, ICT or IT, something like that. He's not even doing cybersecurity. So he does cybersecurity in his free time, but he was challenging some people that have been there for like a good number of years like us. So that is something I really appreciate. Les Béninois, continuez comme ça. Je vous ai dit, je viens au Bénin. Je vais venir au Bénin. On va organiser beaucoup de choses. Et vous allez beaucoup m'apprendre aussi. So I'm going to start right away with VNC. VNC is virtually connecting to a system and controlling that system. So how are we going to do that? Let me share my screen. I'm not going to share my entire screen. I will share my browser alone. Oops, sorry, I listen to a lot of songs, worship songs. I'm a Christian and I do a lot of that. Okay, where's that tab? Okay. Excuse me. All right, this is what I'm looking for. I guess you can see my screen. Yes, you can see my screen. All right. Okay. All right, thank you. So the first thing we're going to do, we're going to look for systems that are vulnerable to the VNC attack. And we are going to use our, we're going to be using Kali Linux for that. Let me just share Kali Linux, I'm sorry. Let me just share my Kali Linux tab. All right, I guess you all can see. Okay, so one of the things you're going to be checking, system vulnerable to VNC. So the command is showdown search. Port 59, VNC runs on that. Authentication. Disable. Okay, this command says that showdown should give me authentication disabled apps. Apps that do not need, services that do not need authentication for me to get into them. So let's check the results. Oops, there was something I didn't put well. Give me a second. Showdown. You know, let's try it here. Oh, I don't forget I had it right here. Okay, I'm going to go to the authentication disable app. Just give me a second, please. Thank you. All right. Okay, so this is the search query right here. This gives me VNC devices. So these are some devices, as you can see, some are in the US, some are in Sweden, some are in Hong Kong, and all of that. So how do we check this? So for instance, I take this and I put it in the VNC viewer. Okay, I'll just share my whole screen, so I will not have to be sharing just my browser. Let me just share my entire screen. So you see everything. Okay. All right, so I take this VNC viewer. What I need to do is I just paste it right here and I check if it's accessible. All right, so at times they have many screens. If it's not accessible, you put a column and you go to 1, 0, 1, and 2. All right, so I changed this to 1. I added 1 here, column 1. Where did that thing go to? Column 1, oops. All right, now it has given me something. All right, this one is asking me to authenticate. So I want you to understand one thing too. For VNC. So let's take another one because we're running out of time. So I have a good number of them. So let's take maybe shared folder index. Okay, all right. I'll take this one. This one is going to be giving me direct access to a server directory. So let's see that. Okay, so now I see here, this one is in Belarus. You're just going to open them randomly. This is one here. Let's just open them randomly and see what we get. Okay. All right, so this is an index file. And we see they even have stuff here that they did today. October 19. There's something they did here today. So it's something that's very, okay. So let's move on to the next. The next is going to be, let me see. Okay, systems that are vulnerable to MS-17. MS-17 is the Microsoft 17 vulnerability that's been existing for a good number of years now. So let's check and see systems that are vulnerable to MS-17. Showdown search. Let's type it somewhere here. All right, this is it right here. Okay, like I said, it's not a class, so I'm just going to be going very fast. So with this, you are able to, you should not search the fields. You're going to see the IP string, the port numbers, the host names, the operating system running on it, and the vulnerability is MS-17 on port 445. So I want to limit my search to 50 results. So I can go beyond 50, but I want to limit my search to 50 results. So from here, you'll be able to see, okay, let it load. Okay, these are systems. Okay, these are systems that are vulnerable to the MS-17. You see some are running Microsoft 7, Windows 7, and so on. So I would not like to over tarry on the IP addresses. I would not like to stay on it. So now let's go directly to the Android. I don't want to tarry on these things. Let's think how it's being done. So I guess I'll be done for now, unless there are some questions that will be coming in. Admin, thank you. There are a lot of things. I just realized most of these things were too sensitive, so that's why I have to stop right here. But remember, you are so vulnerable that you don't know the moment you have a mobile phone connected to the internet, the moment you have a laptop in your house, and I equally have queries for webcams. So you have access to webcams and all of that. So there is a way to block it. There is a way to block all of these things. That is our aim. That is our aim. So I don't know if there is any question. Admin, I'll just pass back to the moderator before we go to the question and answer session. Thank you.
Thank you, Derek, for this exciting and presentation. And you keep telling them, the audience, like everything here is ethical. Nothing is for you to go and hack. So you have to keep and stay ethical. So you have to can do things you on your own, but this is not recommended by EOCON and neither by direct Tata. So Thank you for this nice presentation. There is a lot to see and there's a lot to do, I know, and we know, but I know people around here are thirsty. They have some questions for you. So we will stay ethical even while replying. So you can even contact Derek later, either through our WhatsApp platform, and he will also share his LinkedIn. He can share his LinkedIn for you to be in contact with him to learn more things, to secure your own network. Yeah, we still have time, but the session has ended. So we will ask everyone to have a good night and meet you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you, guys. All right, see you guys tomorrow. We continue different sessions tomorrow.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right, bye.